There's a moment in almost everyone's life that doesn't look important when it happens. It's quiet, ordinary, easy to ignore. Maybe it's late at night and you're staring at your phone, knowing you should be doing something else. Maybe it's early morning and your alarm rings and you have a choice to get up or to stay where you are. Nothing dramatic, no audience, no applause, just a small decision. But those moments, they shape everything. Most people think success is built in big, life-changing moves. A breakthrough idea, a lucky opportunity, a perfect plan. But the truth is much simpler and much harder to accept. Your life is not built in the big moments, it's built in the small ones. The ones nobody sees, the ones nobody praises you for, the ones where you either show up or you don't. And that's where most people lose. Not because they're not talented, not because they're not smart, but because they underestimate the power of consistency. They wait to feel ready. They wait to feel motivated. They wait for the perfect time. But the people who move forward, they don't wait. Think about it. Every skill you admire, every confident person you look up to, every successful individual you see, they didn't wake up one day and suddenly become that person. They built it slowly, quietly, repeatedly, through days when they didn't feel like it, through moments when it was easier to quit. Discipline is not about being perfect, it's about being present, even when it's uncomfortable, especially when it's uncomfortable. There's something powerful about doing what needs to be done when you don't feel like doing it, because in that moment, you're not just completing a task, you're changing your identity. You're proving to yourself that you are someone who follows through. And that matters more than anything, because the biggest battle you will ever fight is not against the world, it's against your own doubts. That voice in your head that says, you're not ready, you're not good enough, maybe this isn't for you. That voice sounds convincing, it feels real, but it's not the truth. It's just fear trying to keep you comfortable. And comfort is where dreams quietly disappear. You don't need to have everything figured out to start. You don't need to feel confident. You don't need permission. You just need to take one step, a small one, a simple one, something that moves you forward, because progress creates clarity. When you start moving, things begin to make sense. You learn what works. You learn what doesn't. You grow. But if you stay still, waiting for certainty, you stay exactly where you are. And time keeps moving anyway. That's the part people forget. Time doesn't pause while you hesitate. Days pass, weeks pass, years pass, and one day you look back and wonder why you didn't start when you had the chance. Not because you couldn't, but because you didn't. So the real question is not can you do it? The real question is, will you? Will you choose to show up on the days when it's hard? Will you choose to stay focused when distractions are everywhere? Will you choose growth over comfort, even when it feels slow, even when it feels uncertain? Because growth is not always visible. Sometimes it feels like nothing is happening, like your effort isn't making a difference, like you're stuck. But just because you can't see progress doesn't mean it isn't there. Think about learning something new. At first it feels awkward. You struggle, you make mistakes, you feel like you're not improving. But then, one day, something clicks, and you realize you've come further than you thought. That's how growth works. It's quiet, it's gradual, it's built in layers, and most people quit before they reach that moment. Not because they failed, but because they got tired of not seeing results. But the truth is, results come to those who keep going long enough. So if you feel stuck right now, if you feel like you're not making progress, don't stop. That feeling is not a sign to quit. It's a sign that you're in the process, and the process is where transformation happens. You don't become stronger by avoiding challenges, you become stronger by facing them, by pushing through them, by learning from them. Every mistake you make is a lesson, every setback is a chance to grow, every failure is proof that you tried, and trying is always better than standing still. Because standing still feels safe, but it costs you more than you realize. It costs you your potential. There's a version of you that exists in the future. A stronger version, a more confident version. A version that has done the work, faced the fears, and kept going even when it was difficult. That version of you is not created by chance. It's created by choices. The choices you make today. Not tomorrow, Not next week, today. And those choices don't have to be big. They just have to be intentional. Choose to learn something new, even if it's small. Choose to focus, even when distractions are calling. Choose to improve, even if it's just a little bit. Because small improvements, repeated daily, lead to extraordinary results. And here's something important to remember. You don't have to compare your journey to anyone else's. Everyone moves at a different pace. Everyone starts from a different place. What matters is not where others are. What matters is where you are and where you're going. Comparison can steal your focus. It can make you feel like you're behind, like you're not doing enough. But your journey is your own, and progress is personal. So instead of looking around, look within. Ask yourself, am I better than I was yesterday? If the answer is yes, even slightly, then you're on the right path. And if the answer is no, then you have an opportunity, a chance to adjust, to refocus, to try again. Because you always get another chance. That's the beauty of effort. It's never too late to start again. It's never too late to improve. It's never too late to take control of your direction. But you have to be willing to take responsibility. Not for everything that has happened to you, but for what you do next. Because your future is not decided by your past. It's decided by your actions in the present. You can't change where you started, but you can change where you're going. And that starts with a decision. A decision to take yourself seriously. A decision to invest in your growth. A decision to stop waiting and start doing. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be committed. Committed to showing up. Committed to learning. Committed to becoming better, one step at a time. And there will be days when it feels hard. Days when you doubt yourself. Days when progress feels slow. That's normal. What matters is that you keep going anyway. Because success is not built on motivation. Motivation comes and goes. It's built on discipline, on habits, on the willingness to continue even when the excitement fades. And if you can master that, if you can learn to show up consistently, regardless of how you feel, you become unstoppable. Not because everything becomes easy, but because you become stronger. So the next time you're faced with a small decision, don't ignore it, don't underestimate it, because that moment matters. That choice matters. It's another chance to move closer to the person you want to become. And those chances are happening every day. Right now, you're in one of those moments. You have the ability to choose what happens next, to decide whether you stay where you are or take a step forward. And that step doesn't have to be big. It just has to be real. Start where you are, use what you have, do what you can, and then do it again tomorrow. Because over time, those small actions will build something powerful, something meaningful, something that reflects who you chose to become. And one day you'll look back and realize that those quiet, ordinary moments were never ordinary at all. They were the moments that changed everything.